Around Kansas, brought to you by Santa Fe Trail Meats in Overbrook, or visit us online at sftmeats.com. And we're back again.
Okay,
Rain,
Frank,
rain, rain.
that's really cool. That's some really cool stuff. And of course, my favorite piece of what you just did is maybe the Tanya Tucker song, Lizzie and the Gray Man. I loved that song.
Yeah.
And the fact that this guy, this writer, watched that old movie, you know, which you and I love a lot, the old Burt Lancaster movie, and then he was inspired to write that song. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
It is. Art inspiring art, life inspiring art, art inspiring life, you know, all those good.
Yeah,
good
only
things.
Burt Lancaster could have played that part.
Yeah, really.
So
Yeah.
all there is to it.
He had the panache or the whatever to pull that off.
In fact, we didn't really get done with that story. So let's talk about, what happens now today in real time. One of the more popular Kansas rainmakers was C.B. Jewell, chief train dispatcher for the Rock Island at Goodland. Jewell also claimed to know Melbourne's secret. His employers were so confident in his abilities that they furnished him with everything necessary to conduct rainmaking experiments. Unlike Goodland's companies, Jewell didn't charge for his services, nor did he keep his methods a secret. He used gases, jars, batteries to establish electrical communication with the clouds, and sometimes dynamite and exploding rockets. He claimed volatile gases charged with electricity chilled the atmosphere and caused condensation to form. His 4 generators produced 1,500 gallons of rainmaking gas per hour. Like those of the rainmaking companies, Jewell's experience met with varying degrees of success. In June 1893, he failed to produce rain at Dodge City, but took credit for rainfall at Meade, claiming wind carried the chemicals there. At Phillipsburg, later the same month, his work was followed by near-flood conditions. The town's newspaper editor wrote, "If this wetting is due to Mr. Jewell, give him credit for it. And if it isn't costing anybody a cent, so let's don't hear any loud words about it." By the end of 1894, the enthusiasm for rainmaking was replaced by one for irrigation. A brief revival of interest occurred in the 1950s in parts of western Kansas, but it wasn't until the mid-1970s that the state again saw organized efforts at controlling weather. A variation of rainmaking was tried in western Kansas in 1975 when the Western Kansas Weather Modification Program began operating. Its main objective is to minimize hail damage to crops using chemical crystals that reduce hail formation. The chemicals are fired from a small airplane into the updraft of storm clouds. The Kansas Water Office estimates that hail damage decreased by 27% in participating counties. The program also targets rainfall increases as an objective. Although these results have not been closely studied, one test location reports an 11% increase in rainfall. Rainmakers around Kansas.
We started farming in 1970. It was harder work then than it is now, a lot more physical work and the wear and tear on my knees and my body. Now here I'm 70 years old. Well, I started having knee pain here 4 or 5 years ago, and so I was looking for a stem cell clinic, and lo and behold, my good friend John Farley and Ken Wood, who'd been customers and friends for a number of years, opened their clinic, and in about 2 months my heel was a lot better, and then at the end of 3 months and then going on 4, why my knee started making significant improvement, and it's sure been a blessing, because before I had the stem cells, well, I'd be driving a tractor, and if I sat in a tractor for 2 or 3 hours, when I got out, I'd have to stop and get the kinks out of my knee and shake it, and today that's not a problem.